Hey everyone, this is a clip from a recent episode of Another Pass, where we talk about movies and all the struggles that go into making them. If you like it, check out the whole podcast. You can find it at certainpov.com or wherever you get your podcasts. I think the biggest difference is that Branagh kind of brings to this Poirot is the vanity of Kenneth Branagh.
Which he's willing to bring to any role, really.
Yes. So what's actually really interesting is that the way Agatha Christie describes the mustache is actually the mustaches in the novels and the short stories. And so David Suchet has a tiny little mustache. And I always have been like, okay, I mean, you've really got the character down, but that's not how. And Kenneth Branagh does mustaches.
Yes.
It is multiple. And I do appreciate that very much. But
I appreciated the little mustache bonnet he wore as he slept. I really appreciated that he was keeping that nice, and he really, I was like, wow, I also use a hair bonnet at night, and maybe if I had a mustache, I would do a mustache bonnet. I was like, is this a real product? I wanted to look it up. I don't need one, but I was just like, did they make this for the film? I didn't Google it though, guys. I didn't want Google to wonder what was wrong with me.
Oh goodness. my searches are already dead. Maybe I'll search it for you later.
Great.
But there's that. Poirot is also just as a character, he's very fussy, and that is definitely something that shines through in this portrayal.
Oh, 1000%.
It's funny because the criticism that I've seen about it is that this Poirot is an action star kind of thing. I'm making quotes with my hands, and it's much more reserved. He would not climb up on the top of that train. And that's just all right, I mean, it's cool to look at all the snow. And that's again where the desire to have a really pretty shot comes in. So it's a different take on the character, and that's kind of neither here nor there. But Poirot brandishing a gun for a while is pretty out of character towards the novels, but yeah, I mean, it's fine for the movie.
Yeah, it's not as extreme as the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes kind of we're gonna make it ramped up to an 11 combat character, but he is excessively competent in a way that my understanding is that Poirot is, but doesn't necessarily come off that way to everyone. There's a little bit of a bumblingness to him in what I've read in descriptions of, more work for him. And also, apparently they even, had a whole reason for why he's not plumper as a character. There's a deleted scene where he had, a pretty extensive girdle that he was putting on to allow for Kenneth Branagh to, still look more of, a dashing figure of, mystery solving.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense.
Yep.
The thing that is an addition that is a bit confusing for me is the whole he would looks at his picture of an old flame a few times, a fair few times, someone named Catherine, and
yes,
that feels too much. It feels unnecessary, an unnecessary addition to me.
Yeah, absolutely. The entire scene where I guess this is, I don't know, in their mind, I'm sure, because we can't have inner monologues, why don't we have him just talk to a portrait? But that whole scene where he's just I am so lost, I don't know what I'm doing right now, I've always been so certain. I was rolling my eyes. I was please, this scene doesn't need to be here at all.
Right. And that's no, exactly. All. And he has his accomplice. No, he has Book there, who is the person that is working with him on the case. He always has a friend character that he bounces things off of and has them go around and help him. And Book is that person in this iteration and in this particular novel as well. But he could have just said, Book, I truly don't know the answer. And we would have gotten the same thing, and it would have been much more, it would have been much more to the point.
Yeah. Less of a monologue.
It would have been more grounded, because in that moment he's talking to her, but he's also talking to God and himself and all the things. It's so dramatic.
So
for
dramatic.
no reason. Like,
yeah, exactly. You don't need it.
Right. Yeah, but again, Branagh's gonna Branagh.
Mm-hmm.
If Branagh is directing Branagh, Branagh's gonna Branagh.
absolutely.
For sure. For sure.
Remember, if you like that clip, check out the podcast. You can find it at certainpov.com or wherever you get your podcasts.